Baayork Lee with me today. And I wanted to interview her, one of the first people that I called up because she influenced me so much when I first got here. She was a mentor, became a friend, and a mentor to so many people out there. And she helped me with my career here in New York City. So I wanted to share with you guys her lovely presence. And just tell us about yourself, Baayork. And
well, I'm a true New Yorker. Born and raised in New York. There are not many of us.
No.
And I was very, very lucky because my father had we lived in Chinatown, and my father had a restaurant there. And when I was 5, casting agents came around looking for children for The King and I for Broadway. And so they came to the restaurant, they came to our school, looking for kids. And so my mother took me uptown. We never went past 14th Street. I mean, there was no reason. And so now we were on 44th Street. Oh my God. 5 years old on 44th Street. And I got the job. And that, of course, changed my life. And when I walked into the theater and I saw the red velvet seats, the chandeliers, I mean, you don't get that in Chinatown at all. And so at 5, I made a decision.
That was it. You decided.
Yeah. I wanted to be in the theater. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but during rehearsals, I would watch the dancers. They would do things, and it was called warming up. I didn't know what warming up was, and they were doing all these exercises, and I would have my mother ask them, "What are you doing?" And they said, "Well, we're warming up." And how do I learn how to do that? And they were the Jerome Robbins dancers, and a lot of them came from the New York City Ballet and from the Balanchine School. And so I was fired at 8 years old because I outgrew my costume, and I went on unemployment. And I was determined that I was going to come back. And there I was. I asked them, where's the school? And there were 3 of us at that time who was let go. And the R&H, Rogers and Hammerstein office, were very sympathetic. And one girl wanted piano lessons, and the other girl wanted to be an actress, and I said I wanted to be a dancer. And so because of Jerome Robbins, I got a chance to go into the Balanchine School, School of American Ballet. And that's where I got most of my technique. And then years later, they were doing Flower Drum Song. They were looking for kids, and they remembered me. And then I got my second Broadway show, Flower Drum Song. But I was determined that I was going to be a Broadway baby. I had all that wonderful training, and then went to the High School of Performing Arts. But in between all of that, so much happened because I lived on the Lower East Side, and I got connected with the Amato Opera, which was down on the Bowery, and they needed some dancers and stuff like that, and kids in the shows. And so I got connected with the Amato Opera when I was a kid, and loved hearing them sing. And and years later, I am directing Porgy and Bess at the Rome Opera, and I'm standing there going, oh my goodness.
You made this total circle.
I'm directing an opera now.
You're doing
it. And then also being at the Washington Opera for 18 years and being their resident choreographer. But my career, it hasn't stopped, and I'm just so happy. And it is because of, my passion for it, and at such an early age, making a decision. So in 1974, the workshop of a chorus line, and then we went to Broadway by 75, and then we don't want to count the years, but every single year I am taking care of 5 companies in Australia and internationally, in London and Stockholm and all those companies, and then coming back to the United States and putting on the companies. I get to see who is in New York, who is new, and who can I help.
All the hard work that you've done, you get to pass it on and to help other people. I think that is it's a great trait.
It has a lot to do with I've fulfilled so many of my dreams. I made the film Jesus Christ Superstar, spent time in Israel. You know, we record every Broadway show that I did, which were 10, 12 shows. We always made an original cast album. You know, so I've done
that's why
that.
you're a legend, Baayork.
You know, I've done
That's
all
why
of
you're a
that. You know, I've studied everywhere, and it was time for me to go back into my community and you know,
give back.
But before that, you know, I could tell that when the newbies come to my auditions, they're not wearing the right, you know, attire.
Yeah.
You know, the girls aren't beating their face because the producers are sitting there, you know, and I go put some makeup on, get some lipstick, you know, and I felt myself doing that, you know, automatically, reaching out to the new ones that didn't know. And they don't teach them that at school, I guess.
No,
you know.
No, you're totally different. When I first got here, Baayork brought me behind the table before I was in front of the table. I will never forget. Because you were like, this is how it's done. This is the process, and that was
and you really learn that way.
Absolutely.
You know, you sit there and you see people come in and they choose the wrong songs, or they're wearing floppy shoes, and so the people behind the table, they are human, and so we're watching the shoes. Or, right. You know, or like that shocking color green that's like, you know, we got to put glasses on.
Give me 5 things that you would tell somebody, like a new